Take a slow breath with me. You don't need to rush. You don't need to prove anything. You are not late. You are not behind. You're ready now. And even if a small voice inside you doubts that, it's okay. Let that voice sit quietly for a moment while you listen. This time is gentle. This time is safe. This time is for you. There is a moment many English learners know very well. You understand more than before. You can follow videos, you can read simple stories, you even think in English sometimes. But when it's time to speak, something tightens inside. Your heart speeds up. Your mind goes blank. You tell yourself, not yet. I need more practice. I need more words. I need more confidence. And so you wait. Days pass, weeks pass, sometimes years pass, and still you wait. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Many strong learners stand exactly where you are now, quietly ready but afraid to believe it. Afraid that ready means perfect. Afraid that speaking now means making mistakes forever. Afraid that one wrong word will prove they were never ready at all. But let's gently question that thought together. What if being ready does not mean being perfect? What if being ready simply means you can begin? Think about learning to walk. No one waits until they can run. They stand, they fall, they stand again. Falling is not failure. Falling is movement. Speaking English is the same. Silence feels safe, but it keeps you still. Speaking feels scary, but it moves you forward. Imagine a normal day. You wake up. You make tea or coffee. You think about your plans. You check your phone. You see a short video in English. You understand the main idea. Maybe not every word, but enough. That understanding did not come from one perfect day of study. It came from many small moments, listening, hearing, guessing, feeling the meaning. You did that. You built that understanding step by step, without pressure, without forcing. So why do we suddenly demand perfection when it comes to speaking? Speaking is not a test. It is a tool for connection, a tool for expression, a tool for growth. When you use a tool for the first time, it may feel heavy or awkward. Your hand may shake. That does not mean the tool is wrong for you. It means you are learning how to hold it. Let me tell you a small story. Not a dramatic one, just a real one. There was a learner who listened every day. Stories, podcasts, simple conversations. They waited to speak because they wanted to sound ready. One day they were asked a very simple question in English. How was your day? They knew the answer. Inside their head, it was clear. But out loud, only 2 words came out. It good. And then silence. Their face felt hot. Their mind shouted, "See? You're not ready." But something interesting happened next. The other person smiled. They nodded. They understood. The conversation continued, not perfectly, but kindly. And in that moment, the learner felt something new, relief. Not because they spoke well, but because they survived speaking badly. And that survival changed everything. This is an important moment, so let's pause here. Breathe. Ask yourself quietly, what am I really afraid of? Is it mistakes? Is it judgment? Or is it the feeling of being seen while still learning? It's okay if the answer is yes to all of them. Here is a gentle truth. Mistakes are not a sign that you are not ready. They are a sign that you are using the language for its real purpose. Communication. Children do not wait for perfect grammar. They speak with what they have. And because they speak, they improve. Adults often do the opposite. They wait, and because they wait, improvement slows down. But you are not a child, and you are not expected to learn like one. You learn with awareness, you notice patterns, you understand explanations. That is your strength. The missing piece is permission. Permission to speak before you feel confident. Permission to sound simple. Permission to be clear instead of correct. Let's open a small loop here. If confidence comes after action, not before, what happens if you wait for confidence? Think about that quietly while we continue. You don't need to speak fast. You don't need long sentences. You don't need advanced words. You need one honest sentence at a time. I think, I feel, I want to. These are not beginner sentences. These are human sentences. They carry meaning. They carry you. There is another belief many learners carry. Other people are better than me. You hear fluent speakers. You compare. You shrink. But you are only seeing the final picture, not the process. You don't see their pauses, their early mistakes, their quiet practice. Comparison steals your focus, and focus is precious. Keep it on your own steps. Now let's gently close the loop we opened earlier. If confidence comes after action, then waiting does not protect you. It delays you. Speaking now does not mean you stop learning. It means learning becomes alive. You are ready now not because you know everything, but because you know enough to begin. Enough to say something. Enough to be understood. Enough to learn from real moments. And here is something very important. You do not have to speak to impress. You speak to express. When you shift from impressing to expressing, pressure softens, your voice relaxes, your words come more easily. Let's slow down again. Notice how this feels. Lighter, quieter, more possible. You might still feel nervous tomorrow. That's normal. Readiness does not remove fear. It walks with fear, hand in hand, step by step, and each step makes the next one easier. In the next part of this lesson, we will gently explore how to turn this readiness into calm daily habits, without stress and without forcing yourself. For now, stay with this feeling. You are not waiting anymore. You are beginning. Let's continue gently, exactly where you are. You don't need to prepare. You don't need to remember anything from before. Just listen and let the words come to you naturally, the way understanding always does. When someone realizes they are ready now, something quiet changes inside. Not loud confidence, not excitement, just a calm shift. A feeling that says, I don't need to wait anymore. And yet, even with this feeling, the old habits may still appear. The habit of delaying. The habit of saying, tomorrow I will speak more. That habit was created to protect you. It tried to keep you safe from embarrassment or disappointment. So don't fight it. Just thank it and gently choose a new direction. Readiness is not a switch. It is a doorway, and you don't run through a doorway. You step through it slowly. Think about the smallest moment in your day. Maybe you are alone. Maybe you are walking. Maybe you are cooking or sitting quietly. These moments are powerful because no one is watching. In these moments, you can speak without pressure. You can say one sentence out loud, not to practice perfectly, just to hear your voice in English, your real voice, not the voice in your head. At first, your voice may sound strange to you, slower, softer, different from native speakers you hear online. That is normal. You are hearing yourself honestly, and honesty is where growth begins. Many learners think speaking practice must be long or difficult, but speaking is built from tiny repetitions. One sentence today, one sentence tomorrow, repeated in different ways. I am tired today. I feel tired today. Today, I am a little tired. Same idea, different shapes. This is how language becomes flexible in your mind. Let's pause for a moment. Ask yourself gently, do I allow myself to sound simple, or do I block myself because I want to sound advanced? This question matters more than vocabulary. Simple English is not weak English. Simple English is clear English. Clear English builds trust. Clear English builds confidence. Complexity comes later, naturally, without force. Now imagine a conversation that may happen one day. Someone asks you a question. You understand it. There is a small pause. Your heart beats faster. This is the moment many people escape. They smile, they nod, they stay silent. But imagine instead that you allow the pause. You breathe, and you answer slowly, not perfectly, but honestly. That pause is not failure. That pause is courage. People who speak fluently still pause. They pause to think. They pause to choose words. Pauses are human. When you stop fearing pauses, speaking becomes easier. There is another quiet fear that hides inside many learners. The fear of being corrected. Correction can feel like judgment, but correction is information. And information helps you move forward. You are allowed to choose when and how you want to be corrected. You can say, "Please correct me," or you can simply keep speaking and notice patterns over time. Both are valid. What matters is that correction does not stop you from expressing yourself. Let's open another gentle loop here. If mistakes are information, not failure, how would that change the way you speak? Hold that thought as we move on. One of the most powerful shifts you can make is this. Stop asking, "Am I good enough?" and start asking, "Was I understood?" Communication is the goal. Understanding is success. Everything else is improvement, not judgment. You already understand more English than you think. You already use strategies naturally. You guess meaning from context. You recognize tone. You feel emotion. These are advanced skills. Speaking is simply adding sound to what you already know. Some days, words will come easily. Other days, they will hide. This does not mean you are going backward. Language growth is not a straight line. It moves in waves. Trust the wave. Don't fight it. Now let's gently close the loop we opened earlier. If mistakes are information, not failure, then each time you speak, you are collecting useful information about yourself, about the language, about what you need next. Silence gives no information. Speaking gives feedback, and feedback builds confidence. Readiness also means allowing yourself to be a learner in public, if you choose. Not everyone needs to know you are learning, but you don't need to hide it either. Saying, "I am learning English," is not a weakness. It is clarity. Most people respond with patience, not judgment. Let's slow down again. Notice your breathing. Notice how calm feels different from confident. Calm is steady. Calm is reliable. Calm grows quietly. This is the kind of confidence that lasts. In the next part of our journey, we will explore how to stay consistent without pressure and how to protect this calm readiness from old fears that may return. For now, stay with this truth. You are ready now because you are willing to begin where you are. Let's stay right here and continue softly. Nothing new to prepare, nothing to remember. Just let the story keep unfolding at its own pace. Even when you accept that you are ready now, the mind sometimes looks for proof. It asks, but ready for what? Ready to speak perfectly? Ready to sound fluent? Ready to never feel nervous again? If that is the meaning of ready, then no one is ever ready. Not even people who speak beautifully. Because language is alive. It changes with mood, with energy, with emotion. So let's gently redefine readiness. Ready means willing. Willing to try. Willing to sound imperfect. Willing to continue even after a small mistake. This kind of readiness is quiet, but it is strong. Think about a time when you learned something difficult before. Maybe not language, maybe riding a bike, using a phone, cooking a new dish. At the beginning, your movements were slow. You made small errors, but you continued. You didn't wait for confidence to appear. Confidence appeared because you continued. English works the same way. Many learners believe they must first feel confident and then speak. But confidence is not a feeling that appears from nowhere. It is a memory of moments when you tried and survived. Each time you speak, even a little, you create a new memory, and those memories slowly become confidence. Let's pause again. Ask yourself gently, what memories do I already have? Times I spoke and it was okay. Times I made a mistake and nothing bad happened. Times I was understood. These moments count, even if they felt small at the time. Sometimes the mind ignores small successes because they don't feel dramatic. But language growth is quiet. It does not shout. It whispers. There is another habit we can soften together. The habit of overthinking before speaking. You think about grammar, about word order, about pronunciation, all at once. This creates tension, and tension blocks words. Instead, try this. Choose meaning first. Let grammar follow later. When meaning leads, grammar learns from repetition. You don't need to build perfect sentences in your head before speaking. You can start speaking and let the sentence build itself. This may feel uncomfortable at first, but it is how real conversation works. Even native speakers discover their sentence while they are speaking it. Notice this the next time you listen to someone fluent. They pause, they restart, they change direction. Fluency is not smoothness. Fluency is flexibility. Let's open another gentle loop here. If fluency is flexibility, not perfection, what would you allow yourself to do differently? Keep that question in the background as we continue. One powerful way to support your readiness is to lower the emotional volume. Speaking English does not need to feel like a performance. It can feel like thinking out loud. When you lower the emotional pressure, your brain has more space to find words. You can practice this alone. Speak softly. Speak slowly. Speak as if you are talking to yourself, because in a way, you are. You are building a bridge between your thoughts and your voice. Some days, you may feel resistance, a heavy feeling that says, "Not today." This does not mean you are losing readiness. It means you are human. On those days, listening is enough, or whispering one sentence, or even thinking in English without speaking. Progress does not disappear because of one quiet day. Consistency does not mean intensity. Consistency means returning, again and again, without punishment, without guilt. Now let's gently close the loop we opened earlier. If fluency is flexibility, not perfection, then mistakes are part of fluency. Pauses are part of fluency. Simple sentences are part of fluency. You are not outside the process. You are inside it. There is also something important to remember. You do not need permission from anyone to speak English. Not from a teacher, not from a test, not from a certificate. Language is not owned, it is shared, and you are already part of it. Think about how many English words you already use naturally. Phone, message, video, music, internet. These words live in your daily life. English is not far away. It is already with you. Speaking simply brings it closer. Readiness also means trusting that your accent is not a problem to fix. Your accent is evidence of effort. It shows that you learned another way of speaking. Clear communication matters more than sounding like someone else. And clarity grows with time, not with shame. Let's slow down again. Notice how reassurance feels in your body. Less tight, less rushed, more open. This feeling is important. This is the feeling you want to bring into speaking moments. In the next part of our journey, we will talk about how to protect this calm readiness when fear tries to return, and how to gently respond to negative thoughts without fighting them. For now, stay with this truth. You don't need to become someone else to speak English. You only need to bring yourself. Let's keep going, slowly and warmly, just as before. You're doing exactly what you need to do right now, listening, allowing, staying present. Even when readiness feels calm and clear, fear can still appear. Fear does not mean you are weak. Fear means you care. it means this matters to you. The mistake many learners make is believing that fear must disappear before they speak. But fear is not a wall. It is a companion. You can walk with it. When fear shows up, it often speaks in familiar sentences. What if I forget the words? What if they laugh? What if I sound stupid? These thoughts feel heavy because they sound final. But they are not facts. They are predictions. And predictions can be questioned. Instead of arguing with fear, try something softer. Acknowledge it. Say, I hear you. And then choose a small action anyway. One sentence, one word, one response. Fear loses strength when it is not the decision maker. Let's pause here. Ask yourself gently, who decides when I speak? Fear or curiosity? Curiosity is quiet but powerful. Curiosity asks, what happens if I try? Fear asks, what happens if I fail? When curiosity leads, learning feels lighter. There will be moments when your mind goes blank. This happens to everyone, in every language. A blank mind does not mean you know nothing. It means your brain is processing. Silence is not empty. Silence is working. When this happens, give yourself permission to pause. You can say simple phrases like, let me think, or one moment. These are not signs of weakness. They are tools. They buy you time. They keep the conversation open. Many learners think they must respond quickly to sound fluent. But speed is not fluency. Understanding is. Connection is. Taking a moment shows care. Another gentle practice is to notice what you do well instead of only what you miss. After a speaking moment, your mind may replay mistakes. Try to balance that by also replaying successes. Did you communicate your idea? Did you stay in the conversation? Did you try even though you felt nervous? These are wins. Confidence grows when you collect these small wins and keep them close. Sometimes, readiness feels stronger in some places than others. You may feel comfortable speaking alone, but not with others, or comfortable with friends, but not strangers. This is normal. Readiness has layers. You don't need to unlock all of them at once. Choose one safe space, one type of speaking, and grow there slowly. Safety builds strength. Strength allows expansion. Let's open another gentle loop here. If safety helps growth, how can you create a safe speaking space for yourself? Hold that question as we continue. Your inner voice matters. The way you talk to yourself shapes your experience. If your inner voice is harsh, speaking feels heavy. If your inner voice is kind, speaking feels possible. You can practice speaking English with kindness, just as you practice grammar or vocabulary. Try saying this quietly to yourself before speaking. It's okay to be learning. These words may feel simple, but they are powerful. They soften the moment. There is no finish line you must reach before you deserve to speak. Speaking is not a reward. It is part of learning itself. Waiting to speak until you are ready enough keeps readiness always in the future. Speaking now brings readiness into the present. Now let's gently close the loop we opened earlier. If safety helps growth, then creating kind, low-pressure speaking moments is not avoiding challenge. It is preparing for it. You grow best when you feel supported, even if that support comes from yourself. Think about how far you have already come. There was a time when listening to English felt impossible. Now you are here, following a long-spoken lesson, understanding ideas, emotions, meaning. This did not happen by accident. It happened because you showed up again and again. That same showing up will guide your speaking. Readiness is not loud. It does not shout, "I am fluent." It whispers, "I can try." And that whisper is enough. In the next part, we will gently explore how to turn speaking into a natural part of your life, not a special activity that feels heavy or separate. For now, rest in this truth. You are allowed to be exactly where you are. Let's bring this lesson gently toward a close, without rushing, without pressure, just allowing everything to settle naturally. By now, something may feel different inside you. Not excitement, not loud motivation, just a quiet understanding, a knowing. You may not be able to explain it clearly, and that's fine. Some realizations don't need words right away. They sit inside you and slowly change the way you act. You came here listening, maybe searching for confidence, maybe searching for permission, maybe just hoping to feel less alone in your English journey. And what you may have discovered is this simple truth. You were never missing intelligence. You were never missing ability. You were only missing gentleness with yourself. Readiness is not a dramatic moment. It does not arrive with fireworks. It arrives like a calm morning, clear, still, honest. You don't suddenly become fearless. You simply stop letting fear decide everything. From today, speaking English does not have to be a big event. It does not have to be something you prepare for. It can be small, natural, part of your normal life. One sentence while walking, one thought while cooking, one quiet comment to yourself. These moments matter more than long study sessions filled with pressure. You don't need to chase fluency. Fluency comes when you stop chasing and start using. When language becomes a tool instead of a test, it relaxes. And when it relaxes, it grows. There will still be days when you feel unsure, days when words come slowly, days when you think, "I sounded better yesterday." This is normal. Growth is not a straight line. It moves like breathing, in and out, strong and soft, forward and gentle pause. On those days, remember this: you are not starting again. You are continuing. Your accent does not block your English. Your mistakes do not cancel your progress. Your pauses do not erase your ability. Everything you bring into the language becomes part of it. You do not need to become someone else to speak English well. You bring your thoughts, your culture, your personality, your rhythm. English adapts to you just as much as you adapt to it. And now, before we finish, take one quiet moment. Ask yourself this, without forcing an answer. What is one small way I can use English today? Not tomorrow, not someday. Today. It might be one sentence, one whisper, one message, one thought spoken out loud. Small is enough. You don't need to promise anything big, just allow one gentle action. As this lesson ends, don't rush back into noise. Let the calm stay with you. Let the idea, "I'm ready now," settle into your body, not as pressure, but as permission. You are not behind. You are not late. You are learning, and learning means you are moving. Thank you for staying with this lesson. Thank you for listening with openness. Thank you for trusting the process. If this lesson helped you feel calmer, more confident, or more ready than before, stay connected. Listen to more stories. Spend more time with this kind of English. And when you feel ready, share your voice too. You're not waiting anymore. You're ready now.